Hey guys, welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast, your daily guide for inner child healing. This podcast helps you establish a consistent reparenting routine and is divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading, the second is a discussion of that reading followed by suggested journal prompts, and the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. I'm so glad that you're here as we continue on this journey of self-expansion and growth. If this is your first time, welcome. Now, before we dive in, I have a few quick reminders. Please like, share, and subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Your support here helps us spread the word, allowing us to continue to grow this community. Next, I'd like to introduce our Patreon group, where we have 3 weekly meetings. On Sundays, we have a meditation meeting. On Tuesdays, we have book club meeting. And on Thursdays, we have open topic discussions. These meetings take place at 6 p.m. CEST, so Amsterdam, Paris time. For my next announcement, I'd also like to introduce the Reparenting Daily journal, which you can find on Amazon. This journal follows along with the podcast, so each weekly and monthly themes are reflected in the journal. It provides space for you to keep your notes with plenty of extra resources on each topic to be discussed. It's an excellent tool, and if you purchase it, you can join our weekly meetings for free. Just send me an email and we'll get you linked in. For the last announcement, I'd like to introduce one of my most meaningful creative projects, a 3-volume series entitled Fairy Tales for Reparenting. Now, you might be wondering, why fairy tales? Aren't those just for kids? But through my personal healing journey and in studying the work of Carl Jung, Marie-Louise von Franz, and other spiritual and psychological traditions, I've come to see fairy tales as powerful symbolic maps for transformation. They carry deep, timeless wisdom, especially for those of us doing the hard work of reparenting ourselves. The series follows the structure of the hero's journey. Volume 1 explores the wounded child, stories of loss, betrayal, and innocence. Volume 3 is about the trials of endurance, cunning, and self-discovery. And Volume 3 is the return, stories of transformation, power, and wholeness. Each story is followed by journal prompts and space to reflect on how each story connects to your own inner healing journey. These are not just tales, they're tools. They're an invitation to connect with the part of you that still believes in magic and possibility and healing. You'll find both familiar classic and lesser-known stories from cultures around the world, offering you fresh insights and inspiration on your path. All 3 volumes are now available on Amazon. Your support means so much to me, not just for this project, but for the larger mission of helping myself and others reconnect inwardly. Reparenting is like nurturing a bonsai tree. It's not fast, it's not flashy, but with care, patience, and consistency, it will transform you. Thanks so much for being here and for supporting this work, and also for committing on your personal journey of self-expansion. Now, without further ado, let's dive into today's practice. Today's reading is from the book Verbal Judo by George Thompson, PhD, and Jerry Jenkins. It's subtitled The Gentle Art of Persuasion. Just as a reminder, we are in July, and the theme for this month is establishing boundaries and assertiveness. We're in week 3, which is July 15th until the 21st, and the theme for this week is communicating assertively. We've read this book before briefly, a few sections, not that many, but it's really an excellent book if you're working on communication skills, social skills, connection, verbal combat skills, how to face up to bullying, or either how to deal with persuasion and manipulation. This is an excellent read, so I just definitely suggest you check it out. Today we're going to be reading a bit from chapter 23, which we haven't read before in this podcast. And this title is called Persuasion for Fun and Profit. Don't expect voluntary compliance just because you have a position of authority or responsibility. Generate it. Make it happen. The top communicators, the great cops, leaders, administrators, and managers know the art of putting things in such a way to make people more cooperative. The old samurai used to say, to know and to act are one and the same. To paraphrase Shakespeare, suit the word to the deed, and the deed to the word. In other words, avoid the disastrous use of language, best summed up in the old Chinese adage, Control your emotion, or it will control you. One of my favorite samurai maxims says, "The angry man will defeat himself in battle as well as in life." We live in the most dangerous of all eras. We are living closer together. There are people under the influence of drugs, liquor, rage, fear, anxiety, ignorance, and stupidity. And violence is commonplace. The key to our success, not to mention our survival, is our ability to stay calm and avoid the anger that makes us ineffective. The anger that made me ineffective as a cop will also make me ineffective as a businessman, an entrepreneur, a husband, a father, a boss, a seminar leader. As I've tried to make clear, I'm one of the original difficult people. My first reaction to stress is to confront. Somebody crosses me, watch out. I'm ready to do battle. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm well trained for physical encounters. I've learned the hard way, though, that winning a battle at the physical level means losing the war in every other respect. I've finally learned, after years of teaching this stuff and seeing it work on the streets, that verbal judo is akin to fishing. I like to fish the high mountain streams and lakes up to 10,000 feet above sea level. If I'm not skillful up there, I can't hook a thing. And if I don't hook a fish, I don't just reel him in as one would a carp. I have to play him in. I play and reel, play and reel, play and reel. When I finally do land one, I get a great feeling of satisfaction and accomplishment. And that's how I feel when I've encountered difficult people like me. Developing the Mushin state of mind, the calm center, means regarding difficult people as challenges rather than as combative adversaries. Doesn't it make sense that we develop a mindset that allows us to interact with these people skillfully rather than letting them get our goat? The samurai warrior, when surrounded by attackers, went absolutely still inside. He prepared himself by being still, so he would not be caught by surprise. He could respond to an attack from any direction, no matter how unexpected. Train yourself to be free of bias, prejudice, and expectations. That's easier said than done, of course, and I'm the first to admit that it isn't something that comes naturally. There is a Chinese word that means both crisis and opportunity. By remembering that, I am now able to like difficult people, or at least to appreciate where they're coming from and view them as challenges and opportunities rather than obstacles. If a guy gets in my face and says, "I can't do this, I won't do that," I just laugh inside and think, my kind of a guy. These are the kinds of people that shaped America. They are the people of savvy, of backbone, of principle, of will. Think about it. A whole day of nice people would be boring, but a whole day of difficult people would make us work. They draw on our skill, make us flex our verbal judo skills, and leave us feeling good about our encounters as we succeed. Let me recommend you the beginning. Let me recommend you that Let me recommend that you begin viewing the difficult people in your orbit as chances to prove your mettle, rather than as people to avoid. Difficult customers should be interesting and challenging. Notice that difficult people can cross all color boundaries and cultural distinctions. The key to your survival is knowing the kind of person, nice, difficult, or wimp, you're dealing with. And it should make no difference whether the person is black, white, Hispanic, or Asian. I don't care if a person is homosexual, transvestite, or undecided. It's none of my business. I care only what he's doing and my ability to redirect him for the better. Thank you, and that's the reading for today. back, guys. Today's reading highlights a very, very powerful truth. Assertive communication isn't about being loud, bullying, or controlling. It's about staying calm, centered, and strategic in the face of pressure. When dealing with difficult people or high-stress situations, perhaps with quote-unquote toxic people, true authority and influence come from inner mastery, not emotional reactivity. The authors emphasize that controlling our inner voice, especially when it's negative or reactive, is the key to effective communication. This is the core of assertiveness, expressing truth without losing respect for ourselves or others in the process. From a reparenting lens, this lesson speaks directly to those of us who grew up without models for healthy conflict or respectful self-expression. Many of us learn to survive through silence, aggression, or perhaps people-pleasing and fawning. But reparenting means reclaiming your voice, your full voice. It means preparing ourselves, like the samurai in the story, not for attack, but for clarity, presence, and calm strength. Assertive communication becomes a tool of self-protection, not just persuasion. We don't need to avoid conflict or dominate others. We simply need to speak from the solid ground of our values. As we go into the journal prompts for today, number 1, where in your life are you still relying on passive-aggressive or passive-aggressive communication instead of being clear and direct? Number 2, what situations make your inner voice spiral into negativity or defensiveness? How could you practice staying calm and grounded instead? And number 3, if you could rehearse one assertive response to use in moments of tension, what would it sound like? Write it down, word for word, and practice it a few times in front of the mirror over the next coming weeks. That's it for today. As always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourself, and please do be well. Welcome back, welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please go ahead and find a space where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you comfortable today. Take a moment to simply be with yourself. Focus on your breath and gently connect with each part of your body. If thoughts arise, don't let them overwhelm you. Just observe them without attachment. Imagine them as leaves drifting down atop a river, passing by without needing your engagement. Stay present, grounded, and open to this moment, no matter what time you are listening and practicing this meditation. Namaste.